My name is Annie Rhodes-Steer, and I'm a full-time volunteer for Head to Head Theatre, and I take all the bookings for the pantomime, and I also go out on tour for the public performances to look after the families during the performances and to make sure that everybody's safe and well.
You're putting on the pantomime Aladdin, and it's a bit different as it's aimed at children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities. How did this come about?
We formed the Head to Head Theatre many years ago, and we were invited to put on a family show at Richmond Park. And it went down so well for the public members that we decided that we would kickstart this and start doing family shows in the holiday periods. That then progressed to public pantomimes that were tagged on to the end of our schools tours, because we realised that there is nothing out there for these families. For a family that perhaps needs a hoist and changing bed facilities, they can't go to a theatre. But we perform in special schools so that all those facilities are provided for the families.
As far as this performance is concerned, you mentioned the charity Head to Head Theatre. Could you tell me a little bit more about that? And are members of that charity the people who actually go out and do the performances?
We were formed in 2006. We're, as I said, we're completely volunteer-led, but the performers are professional actors who come together for our shows and work as a team. We have 6 of them on call so that we never have to pull in anybody else. There's always somebody available to do the work. They're used to working together. They're used to working with the children. They all have signing abilities, and they know how to interact with the children and to give the best moments for them during the shows.
Now, the pantomime which you're putting on this weekend is Aladdin. Has this script been adapted in any way for your audience?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, our performances cater for a wide range and varied levels of disability, including hearing and visual impairments, learning difficulties, complex health needs and life-threatening conditions. And because they're family shows, they also have to be multi-layered with humour that will appeal to all ages. So our in-house writer, Sarah Cole, breaks down each scene to include elements that will engage with everyone in the audience. There are moments for signing, sensory and interactive fun, and of course a simple song, because it's really important. Our work includes the 3 R's, rhyme, rhythm and repetition, and they are threaded throughout all the writing that we do to solidify the moments, to enable young people that perhaps don't take a while to comprehend a moment, that they recognise it when it reappears.
The actual performance itself, what about the props that you're using?
All our props are handmade by our volunteers. We also make our own costumes, and also particularly the ones that we put on the children, little simple Velcroed tabards, because most children don't like anything being put over their heads. So the costumes are just Velcroed onto them front and back. And at the start of each show, we ask if any member of the audience would like to wear a costume. It doesn't matter if they don't join in, but if they do during the show, it creates some wonderful, spontaneous fun. For example, a young girl was asked if she would like to marry Aladdin. She thought for a really long time before she replied that she would like to have to ask her mummy first.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Now, I understand you also have a special sensory room available when you have the performances. Could you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Yes, it's a very simple sensory room, obviously, because we have to cart it around with us from place to place. And we don't like to use the sensory rooms in the special schools in case anything gets broken. Because our philosophy is, if something gets broken that's ours, we don't worry about it. We don't want our families to be concerned about anything, the least of our worries. So we set up a very simple sensory room that's very colourful. It's got lots of bits and pieces in it that will appeal to all ages. So things for babies, they can sit on the floor on a multicoloured cushion and play with a puppet, and mummy can read them a book. Or we have puzzles for young people that in the teenage age. And this is something that the families can visit if they arrive too early for the show or if they wish to linger after the show. But its main objective is that during the show, when a child needs some chill out time, perhaps there's sensory processing disorder and they just need to be stepping away from the show for a little minute, they can be taken into the sensory room, have a little moment to chill, and then come back and join us. So you can imagine there's a constant flow of people walking around the show during the performance, and nobody worries about it.
I think as it should be. Right then, the performance takes place this Sunday at the Dawnay Primary School in Great Bookham. Are there any tickets available?
Yes, there are still a few tickets available. The Dawnay made us their charity of the year many years ago, and they loved us so much that they've retained us. There isn't hoist facilities there, but the school is accessible and has accessible toilets and wonderful on-site parking, and we are just so very grateful to them for offering their venue free of charge to us so that we can present this for the children. So there are tickets available for the 11:15 performance and the 2 o'clock performance.
Lovely. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us.